Okay, welcome back. Today we are going to be reviewing CS2 CSGO Knives IRL. These are from MegaKnife.com. As you can see, they have a CSGO mystery box that comes in small, medium, and large, right? Now the price range for small is $29, medium is around $60, and large is around a whopping $90. Okay, and at the bottom here, they give you a sample of some of the knives you could potentially get. Obviously, they're going to show like the quote-unquote top pulls. You're probably not going to get these, or maybe there's like a small chance, but obviously if you get one of these are like the best potential knives you can get. There's a lot of other things you might get that are nowhere near as nice as these. So let's see, let's check it out. Let's see what constitutes a small, medium, and large. So if you look at the small, you will receive two different knives: Karambit, flip knife, pocket knife, varying from any one of those. Medium, you'll get 4 knives: Huntsman, Bowie knife, Karambit, butterfly fixed pocket knife. And large, you'll get 6 different knives, which is every single possibility you can get. You can M9, gut knife, whatever, what have you. They claim to be available for only a limited amount of time, but last few reviews were from 2020 and 2021, both giving 5-star reviews from the United States. So limited time, but pretty much indefinite, which is a good thing potentially if it turns out to be a banger. That being said, I made the order. I blacked out my order information, but I did leave the tracking number available so that we can track from the number that they gave and the number that showed up on the box that was delivered to my house. So if you look at BA Inc., who actually sent it, it's actually Blade Addict. And if you go to Blade Addict's website and you click on their social for Twitter, it actually goes straight to MegaKnife. So MegaKnife.com is the same as ordering from Blade Addict. They just seem to have another site, maybe to disassociate potential bad votes for the CSGO mystery box. That being said, I have my trusty Karambit, and I'm going to start ripping this box open in the most unconventional way possible. So right off the bat, one of the things I will say is that I actually expected the small, large, and medium boxes to come in some kind of packaging, but since I ordered all 3 of them, they literally just sent what constitutes each one in just one giant box. So their presentation wise, you're kind of losing some points already in my book. That being said, let's move on to the first knife of the day that we're going to review. Let's see what we got here. It looks like it looks huge. It is going to end up being what, like a Huntsman? Okay, yeah, it's a Huntsman, decent size. Sorry about the fact that it's vertical filming for myself. It ended up just being the best way I can actually do it. It's actually pretty crisp. It's got some grease or oil on it, probably to keep it from rusting. Nice size. You would think it would be a little bit bigger, but I actually welcome the size that it's at right now. Pretty comfortable. All right, next up, looks like it's supposed to be a blue sapphire butterfly knife. It looks pretty good, actually. I know it's not as sapphire-y or gem-like as most of you might like, and it looks like my dog's hair already got stuck on the blade somehow. But that being said, it looks really clean. It's really crisp, and I guess it also came with a mini screwdriver to tighten the screws in case the locking mechanism gets loose from you constantly flinging this thing around. It's pretty nice. It's definitely not gem quality, but it looks pretty damn good. I like it. Okay, coming up next, it looks like we have a combination of a Huntsman and a flip knife. It's definitely supposed to be reminiscent of a Huntsman knife, but it is a flip knife, as you can see. And it's definitely supposed to be a Case Hardened pattern, but it's not like a real Case Hardened. It's basically like a laminate sticker or paint of some sort that they applied to make it look like the Case Hardened. I've seen some real life Case Hardened stuff. This is not it, man. Even a Case Hardened pot that you see on like Reddit or something has more real pattern than this. But that being said, it is nice, I guess, as far as the knife itself. And it comes with a nice little sleeve for you to keep it dangling in your pocket or on your belt or wherever you want to keep it. So it's that. Okay, next up, it looks like we got ourselves what's supposed to be a ruby Karambit. It comes with a nice little sheath over here, and it looks very clean. I'm not crazy about the handle color and how it matches with what's supposed to be the ruby. Similar to the Case Hardened Huntsman knife, it's just really a nice laminate, but in this case it actually makes sense, because how are you actually going to have like a ruby red knife, right? It doesn't really make sense. But yeah, this one's pretty good. I'm just not crazy about the handle color, but hey, hopefully you enjoy watching my clobber fist grip that knife handle. Okay, so let's put it away and we shall move on to the next mystery knife. Okay, on to the next one. It looks like it's going to be a flip knife based on the image on the box, and it is indeed a flip knife. It is a emerald flip knife, and it looks comically stupid. I know they made the proportions to match the way it looks inside the game, but I guess some things just don't transfer to the real world properly, because how are you supposed to keep that in your pocket? That being said, it does have a little latch for you to be able to clip it onto your belt or your pants or wherever you want to clip it to. Yeah, it does look pretty good in terms of the emerald knife itself. Again, you know, you can't actually make it like a gem, just like a ruby before, but the finish that they have on it looks pretty good and clean. So they did a good job. It's just limited by the fact that it looks goofy as hell in real life. Okay, next up we have a midnight Karambit, and it looks amazing. This is the same brand and quality that I got for the gold Karambit you saw me use to cut open the box. They come out of the box sharp as hell. You will really nick yourself if you're not careful. And this one looks very, very good. I mean, you can't go wrong with an all dark midnight black schema like this. I'm really happy with this one, but I would argue you can just buy it directly and save yourself the potential risk of getting something you don't want. But hey, at least we got it. We're lucky enough to have that. Okay, next up we have the stiletto knife, and let me tell you, this is comically large. It is ridiculous. Easily the largest knife I've seen so far. And this is with it not being folded out. If I actually extend this knife out, it is twice as long as that gold Karambit I've been using to cut open all of these boxes. It is ridiculous. Like, when you see the stiletto in game, you expect it to be moderately sized to the person's hand. This is like the stiletto knife for Shaq. No one else could use this in a reasonable way. This is absolutely joke clown fest. Okay, next up it looks like we have the ruby plugs, aka the shadow dagger. I wish I could have said plural shadow daggers, but they only shipped one of these. The fact that it doesn't come as a set is already an instant F. This is a 0 out of 10, because what is the point if you don't have two of these and jab the air like an idiot, right? This is just dumb. That being said, on a standalone level, I do think this is the best ruby effect so far. Maybe it's because the knife is smaller that it just, for whatever reason, wraps and looks better around it, but it is really crisp and clean. It's just such a shame that they only give you one and that it doesn't come as a set. Okay, next up is the Case Hardened butterfly knife. Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring, the tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god.
I am thoroughly impressed with the way this turned out. This is the way Case Hardened is supposed to look like, not that laminate BS that I saw in the earlier Huntsman. I don't even need to see the rest of the mystery boxes or mystery knives to know that this is gonna be my favorite. Like, this is hands down the best. Not only is it a butterfly knife, but it's a proper Case Hardened, right? This is beautiful, beautiful. The edge is blunt, but I think they did that so you could train your nice little tricks, but this is number one. I already know it to be true. And just like the other knives, it did come with its own sheath as well too. True beaut. Moving on to the next knife, it looks like it's going to be another Karambit, and this time it's Case Hardened. And you know what? The finish on this is pretty damn good too. It's actually almost on par with the butterfly knife. However, I think it's a little too big for my personal taste. I like the size of the Karambit of the gold knife that I was using earlier. So, running on the slightly larger side, but it's still a good finish. It's still a good knife, actually. Moving on to the next mystery knife, it is a bayonet. I think this is what they call it, like the Star Galaxy or Galaxy finish. Not that impressed, right? It's kind of a cool design, I guess, but it's got that laminate kind of matte, bland feeling. And after those two case hardens that we just opened up, it just fails to deliver any like emotion from me, you know? All right, moving on to our final mystery knife of the day. We have what looks like a midnight black Bowie knife with a little extra grease and oil to make sure there's no rust. I think in terms of the size, it's a perfect size, exactly what you would imagine a Bowie knife to feel like in terms of size. And grip is perfectly fine, very comfortable. This is a good pickup. I think for mystery box, this one's actually a solid one to find in your mystery box. Okay, time for doing a little bit of banana for scale size comparison. As I said, look at the size of this giant gold stiletto. That is a regular size banana. It is almost twice as big as that. The handle alone is the same size, if not longer than the banana. That is stupid, man. That is like, I think this one is a total trash item that they just added in this mystery box to get rid of their inventory, because ain't nobody buying that. Now it's a Case Hardened Karambit. You can see, for all intents and purposes, it looks pretty nice, but runs a little larger than I would like. But I can see a reality where some people actually enjoy this size more. Moving on next, we got another Karambit, or maybe it's a Talon knife, I can't exactly tell, but either way, beautiful. It looks even better in the light, and I actually appreciate it a little bit more despite not being crazy about that handle color. Now we have the quote-unquote Case Hardened Huntsman flip knife. It's a combination of both. Not crazy about it, and now compare that appearance, that look, to an actual Case Hardened, right? Night and day difference. One is clearly made with quality, the other is just some cheap paint dip. And now I can't close the damn thing. There it is. Okay, up next, I believe this is the bayonet. Nope. Just kidding. It is the Bowie knife. Proper size. Gonna wipe some of that grease and oil off this banana. It's a proper size, and somehow still smaller than that stiletto. Now this is the bayonet. Similar to the Bowie knife size. It's actually a great size. Makes sense. Again, you know, obviously it's not a Case Hardened look. It's that Galaxy whatever pattern. But it still kind of pales in comparison. It just looks like a cheap paint dip. But otherwise, still a nice knife on its own. Now comes the other Karambit, which I think this midnight is perfect. You can see it's around the same size as the banana. I think personally this is the perfect size for a Karambit knife. Very nice, very beautiful. Okay, here is the other butterfly knife. Actually the same size as the Case Hardened one that I like a lot. Although it's not obviously as gem-like for a sapphire, it is a very nice butterfly knife. I just personally like the Case Hardened a little bit better, but this is a very great alternative pickup as well. You can see they're essentially the same knife, just a little bit different in terms of the, not a little bit, totally different in terms of the pattern. Okay, and here's the Huntsman knife. I think this one actually looks pretty good as well. The size is perfect. It should be somewhere between the bayonet and the Bowie knife in my opinion, and it delivers on that sense comparing it to the size of this banana. Still smaller than the gold stiletto. I just cannot fathom what they were thinking with that gold stiletto. That's just not a reasonable size knife. It's just, I don't know who that's for. There's not an audience for it, I'm sorry. Okay, so to wrap things up, I think there are two reviews required here. First is to review the quality of the knives themselves. The knives you get are actually pretty high quality, right? I enjoyed every single one that came out of these packages, except for maybe the gold stiletto. But actually, even the gold stiletto is still functional and still pretty good looking. It's just too large, right? After that, the other review is what do I think of the mystery boxes themselves. I think the mystery boxes themselves are actually awful, mainly because I expect that if I'm going to get a mystery box, I get some kind of presentation box, right? Especially if you're paying as much money as you are for small, fine. I can like let it go, right? But when you start paying for the medium and large that is $60 and $90 respectively, I expect some presentation level. But for me to order all three of them and for them to be aware that this person is making a large order and them to just chuck it onto the same box just tells me they don't care. This is just a way for them to get rid of what's filling up their warehouse, right? We did get lucky with some of them, so I gotta say, in terms of the batch that we got, it was pretty good. I'm happy with half of what I got, right? The other half is always gonna be something that they couldn't sell anyways. So yeah, mystery box wise, pretty bad. I would skip, and I would just go to bladeaddict.com, or if you're in the EU, you can just probably go to like Loot Knife or any other site where they actually let you buy it. Better versions of DCS knives too. I can't do it here in the US because it'll get seized by customs. But regardless, I would just buy exactly the knife that you want, and you'll save a lot of money. And the mystery boxes, unfortunately, would not make a good gift for a friend either, just due to the fact that there's no presentation. Not including the fact that they might not even get a good knife, because if I got two of those gold stiletto knives, I'd be pretty salty. That being said, thanks for watching, and hopefully if this was entertaining, I've earned your subscription. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see me unbox next. It doesn't even need to be related to CS2, it could be something else. Otherwise, make sure to check out my series where I tackle CS2 unboxing, like cases, versus popular hobbies like Pokemon or One Piece or Magic the Gathering, to see who gets a better return on investment, right? I got a couple things going on for CS2 related, but I'm also probably going to switch to TCG as well. So depending on when you're coming through to see this video, I might have already made that transition. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching, and please do engage and check out what other stuff I got. Thanks.